ladies and gentlemen, I'm Vinny Eastwood, famous talk radio show host.
Definitely.
I smoke weed.
Amazing. And it's really good. There you go. Thank you very much for that. That was awesome. Happy day.
We're here with Chris Fowlie from the Hemp Store New Zealand. Chris, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about J-Day, how it kind of spawned and started?
Yeah, well, J-Day's been here in Albert Park every year since 1992. That was actually my first involvement with Normal, was going to the J-Day then and getting involved. And it will continue every year until the stupid war on drugs is over and cannabis is legalized.
I wanted to make a point maybe to the crowd as well. I'd like to see what the reaction is when I ask, do you think that this is a kind of activity that the Auckland City Council is terribly happy about? Do you think this is the kind of activity that they wouldn't pull out all the stops to possibly make it a little bit more difficult for the organisers? How many people know how difficult it is to organise? And I think you'd be the man to ask.
Oh, look, to be honest, our argument isn't with the council. You know, here we are, we're having an event and it's gone on. You know, we got the permit and all that. So, yeah, it is a bit more difficult than it needs to be, but at the end of the day, we're still here. And of course, Hemp Store picks up all the bill for all the stuff we got to do, the cleaning and the security and that. Probably should thank the council for letting us be here. But this is actually one of the few permitted J-Days in the country. A lot of the other ones are renegade events. You know, J-Day's been going on for 22 years now. It's now all over the world, over 200 cities today, and it's both a protest against this war on drugs and against cannabis prohibition in particular, but it's also a celebration of our culture. But this year in particular, we have a focus on the legal highs debate, because that's what everyone's talking about. It's huge news. Everyone's talking, and the reason everyone's talking about it is because everyone knows there'd be no market for synthetic cannabis if natural, real cannabis was available, and that natural, real cannabis is the safer choice. It's not only safer than synthetics, it's safer than alcohol, and it's safer than pharmaceuticals, and it should be treated that way, but it's not. It's treated like it's the demon's weed, you know what I mean? We're launching a petition all over the country today, and it is saying the best way to reduce harms around synthetic highs is to regulate the availability of natural cannabis. And this is just common sense. Everyone knows there was only a market for synthetic highs because real cannabis is illegal, and real cannabis is the safer choice. It's safer than synthetics, it's safer than alcohol, it's safer than pharmaceuticals. Everyone knows that. So this petition is just common sense, and even people who don't like cannabis are agreeing with it, because everyone knows the best way to reduce synthetic highs is to allow real cannabis. Everyone knows that. It's a fact. So we're finding this petition incredibly popular. Everyone's signing it. We've run out of petition forms, so we have to print more out. We've also launched a website today to go along with it. That is safer.org.nz, safer.org.nz, and that website has this really easy tool that lets you email your MP. It has a letter that you can basically tick the boxes to select different paragraphs that you agree with. You can edit it, you can put in your own messages, you can select whichever MP you want it to go to, your MP, all MPs, Auckland MPs, national MPs, you know, all sorts of filters. It will personalise that letter and send each MP an individual email. And already today, when I last looked a few hours ago, we only launched it at midnight, and I looked a few hours ago, it had already passed 5,000 emails. So it is growing huge, right? It's going to blow up. They're all going to arrive at work on Monday. Their inbox is going to be overloaded. We had put on the website that our goal was 20,000 emails. I think we're going to get that within a few days, or maybe even today. And we're going to aim for something a bit more like 100,000, which I don't think will be hard to achieve at all. And surely, you know, 100,000 signatures, they've got to take notice, or 100,000 emails. That's going to make an impact, that's going to make a difference. So people can go there anytime they want, on their mobile device, on their computer, safer.org.nz, let your MP know how you feel. The beauty of this website is it also lets us track their replies, and it lets us promote those replies and publicise them so that people can take them up on it.
It's ingenious because it ensures accountability for their responses.
Yes, that's right. It becomes an ongoing thing. People see how they replied to a previous person, and they can write their letter taking that into account and challenging them on it or correcting them about it. We can also update the letter whenever we want and have various campaigns running, focuses of the month and that kind of thing.
A thought occurred to me while I was driving here, Chris, is that the cannabis movement has evolved markedly since days like J-Day and 420 Day have come into fruition, really come into their own. What do you think are some of the great achievements in the cannabis legalisation movement that have been achieved since their inception?
Well, I think we've proven that there are too many smokers to arrest. We've proven that prohibition is futile and counterproductive and doesn't achieve anything. We've proven that the police and the authorities stay away when challenged. We've proven that despite that, there are no problems. It's not like J Day has ever been associated with crime or violence or anything bad happening, right? Whereas every other event is, because they usually have a bar in them. By our very existence, we dispel the stereotypes. We show that drug law reform is not associated with crime. We show that it's associated with normal, ordinary, everyday people. And that's what you see when you look around. It's just people from all walks of life, all ages, all backgrounds. They're all here, all cultures, all ethnicities. I mean, this is truly a reflection of cosmopolitan, multicultural Auckland and New Zealand is right here at J Day. And we tolerate people of different beliefs, except when it comes to drugs. It is the last great social law reform left in Western societies. We've legalised, prostitution, homosexuality. Women have the vote, they can drive. Unlike Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? We all have equal rights, except where it comes to drugs, where for some reason our rights are thrown out the window. And J Day is a really important part of standing up to that. It also, the people that come to J Day gain confidence. They get to meet people. They see they're not alone. Often people who support changing the law think that they're alone in that. They think they can't bring it up. They can't bring it up with their family. They can't bring it up at work. They can't bring it up in the clubs they belong to. And yet, probably most of the people they know agree with them. And they're thinking the same way. Oh, I can't bring it up. J Day gives people that kind of confidence, to realise they're normal. And of course, which is the name of our organisation and why it is called that, because it is normal.
Chris Fowlie, hempstore.co.nz. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out online, and if you're in Auckland, certainly go into the shop. You can have enormous quantities of cannabis professionalism at your disposal in this man right here. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thanks, Vinny. Awesome.
Thank you very much for attending and watching this video for J Day 2014. J Day has been put on for a number of years by Chris Fowlie and other members of Normal, so that a day every year can be made to say no to cannabis prohibition and say yes to weed. This is Vinny Eastwood, Mr. News.